About the gigantic freaking woolly rhinoceros? Well, you're in luck. I'm your guy. This is the last recording I'm gonna do. This is take like 50. But why were these guys so rad? Well, kind of just look at them. They have these great big horns on the front of their face. They're cloaked in this huge coat of thick fur. They kind of remind me of these opium birds that I saw all over Instagram for a hot minute. At any rate, they were huge. They stood at about 9 feet tall, 15 feet long, weighing in at between 1.7 and 2.2 tons. For scale, here is a 2024 Toyota Prius, which only weighs in at 1.5 tons. Weighing in at 3 tons and almost as large as the woolly rhinoceros is two 2024 Toyota Priuses, but eclipsing the rhinoceros, unfortunately, is 3 2024 Toyota Priuses. Moving past that, this is where they would have come from taxonomically. Believed to have branched from Merck's rhinoceros about 5.3 million years ago. The Coelodonta antiquitatus, as the woolly rhinoceros is less commonly known, is actually fairly closely related to the modern-day white rhinoceros. They also share a lot of behavioral and dietary similarities. An interesting thing about the Coelodonta antiquitatus is that before it was the Coelodonta antiquitatus, it was the Rhinoceros antiquitatus. But upon inspection from Heinrich Braun in 1831, its molars didn't have the right structure. As you can see, they had these little internal cavities, and that is what relocated it into the Coelodonta genus. So when would you have found this homie? Well, they showed up first about 5.3 million years ago, which is at the very beginning of the Pliocene, and have been found to be as young as about 14,700 years, which is at the midpoint of the Pleistocene, which is about 8% of the entire Cenozoic era. Where would you have found these guys? Well, they originated in modern-day Siberia before migrating in a southwest direction over time to follow the steppe and end up kind of taking over all of Eurasia and the Mongolian plateau. Due to the lack of food that was available on the Bering Strait, they never migrated to North America. So they were kind of limited to the environment that we find them in today. This is what the world looked like back then. 5.3 million years ago isn't that long in the grand scheme of things, so it resembles the modern globe very well. And this is where you would have found our little furry friends, or actually our giant furry friends. At any rate, bro was pretty chill. His diet consisted largely of grass and sedges, which is pretty much just grass. They were solitary herbivores, often found in mated pairs or same-sex groups, if with another rhino, but usually found on their own. They live for about 40 years, reproducing every 2 or 3 years, and only yielding 1, maybe 2 offspring per session, if you will. They lived in pretty arid areas of lowlands and river valleys. They were not cut out for climbing mountains, so they stayed in pretty flat regions. Due to their size, they were pretty formidable and rarely hunted. The youngsters were occasionally nabbed by cave lions and hyenas, but occasionally adults were hunted down by pack animals like hyenas and humans as well. So, where did bro go? Well, originally thought to be hunted to extinction by humans, that is not actually the case. During the Quaternary extinction, the Earth heated up a whole bunch, and the habitat in which the woolly rhinoceros lived kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and they were not very well suited for warmer climates and warmer environments, and so eventually they kind of just died out. Here are my sources. Thank you very much. Thank you.